This is a review of the Ontario Rat Model 2 knife. Great little knife from Ontario. I'm quite happy with it. As you can see, this is not completely stock. I've made some custom handle scales for it out of some homemade micarta to kind of spice it up, give it a better feel in my opinion. Normally these knives come with what's called nylon 6 handles, and it's a really cheap plasticky feeling material. FRN, fiberglass reinforced nylon, is a higher quality material. Feels a little better, but this just kind of feels like cheap plastic to me. And it's quite slick. There's not much texturing on it, so I decided to do away with these and make my own custom handle scales for the knife. Quite happy with how they turned out. But anyway, the construction, it's got full stainless steel liners. It's a liner lock design, and the liners are not milled out, but it still comes in at 2.75 ounces, which is quite light. A Delica 4 weighs about 2.5 ounces, so 2.75 ounces for this puts it close to a Delica in weight, which I think is incredibly great. Lightning quick deployment with that thumb stud. It's a very fast blade. I love the action and it's super smooth. The blade is 3 inches long, cutting edge is 2.75 inches long, and it's made from Auss-8 steel, which Ontario claims to harden to 58 to 60 on the Rockwell scale, which is great. I love Auss-8 steel when it's hardened correctly, and the edge from the factory is just superb. This is such a beautiful edge, straight from the factory. Razor sharp and very even, very consistent throughout. So really, really well done from the factory. Quite happy with that. Ergonomics are quite nice. It fits my hand pretty well. There's some jimping on the back of the blade. A lot of people argue that it's not sharp enough, but I think it's definitely adequate. My forefinger rests nicely in this indent where the liner is, this little finger choil if you want to call it that. So very comfortable, and I can fit all 4 fingers on there. Not entirely my pinky, but it still rests comfortably in the rear, and the knife sits quite comfortably in my hand. So great ergonomics with the knife. For those of you familiar with the Rat Model 1, this is basically just a scaled down version of that knife. I've got a Rat 1 right here. This one is modified as well, but here's a size comparison of the Rat Model 1 versus the Rat Model 2. Granted, the blade on my Rat 1 is just about a millimeter or 2 shorter than on a stock Rat 1. Normally this spine comes out straight to a point, but I tapered it down to shorten it to the legal limit in my state, and I think the blade design is a little more functional instead of having the tip all the way up here. So that's why I made the modifications to that Rat 1, but this is just basically for a size comparison between the two knives. You can see that the Rat 2 is significantly smaller and significantly lighter as well. You can find the Rat 2s for about $25 to $30, which I think is a steal for this kind of knife. I think it's a pretty high quality knife. Apart from the nylon 6 handles that it comes with, I think it's a really solid offering from Ontario, and definitely worth checking out. That's the Ontario Rat Model 2.